doing this. Show me how. But she doesn't know how to do that. And so there's going to be a lot of people as you start to become, a higher frequency individual that are going to either be attracted or repelled by that.
Yeah.
Does that feel true to you? And it's going to really bother you, like, particularly family members they'll start to be like, well, what are you doing? Why are you doing that yoga? Because they want you to stay at the same frequency as them.
Yeah.
Because if you start to go over them, then it only reflects to them like a mirror all the things they're not doing.
Exactly. No, that sounds exactly what it, I know physically, like mentally, she's, like I said, there's a lot going on with her. And, and I've kind of helped her go through like, personal things like a breakup and like, but now it's like kind of back into the relationship. So it's always a back and forth with her, with this one, her boyfriend. And it's just like, and I know, she tries to come on like through a kind of like a compassionate, supportive, like aspect, but it just doesn't feel like genuine at all. Not like one bit to me. And I'm just like, I can't, I'm just like, I just can't.
So Katerina, this is bigger than just this woman. So what you're doing is you're literally changing your DNA with me. And you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. But what you're doing is by changing your belief systems, your thoughts, and your emotions before you have a baby, you're changing your DNA because you have the power to do that. They're proving that in science. That's my next whole book, right?
Right.
People are like, it's a new field, but I'm relating science to spirit. So you have the power to do that. So as you do that, other things in your life are going to crumble. And Kundalini is the same thing. And what you're doing is Kundalini too. So you're naturally going to have you're going to just start to break, it's like if a city was falling around you, that part's going to break off, that part's going to break off, that part's going to break off. And you're just still going to be standing there watching it all collapsing, right? But you have to kind of close your eyes now. They want you to imagine like you're the spider in the middle of this web.
Okay.
And as you switch your DNA, and it's like the spider can change magically. Imagine yourself, you're changing into whatever kind of animal or being or whatever. This web is still there. And so what this girl was a representation of is that old genetic line, like a sister, kind of like a sister in a way, the way you were. And so as you start to change, you're really going to start to clash with your old self, because what we have to realize, I think we kind of went into this last week, is relationships are just a mirror of you.
Right.
And so you can't look, and also I have to deal with like all the types of people I work with. They're on all types of wavelengths. I mean, even sometimes you have to meet people where they're at. And so you also have to look back in compassion as you change. And so be like, you have to say, I was once there.
Yeah.
I was once her. I was just recently her. And so it's frustrating that they can't keep up with you, and they're not going to change like you, but they probably won't.
Yeah.
And so as this is going to happen more and more and more. So this is probably the beginning of that, because you're internally changing your dynamics, your entire system, your emotional body, and your on an interdimensional level, because of all the internal work you're doing and everything that's happening to you with Universe Connected, right? So you have to look at this, look at from the web out and all these people you're connected to. And some of them, do you have any cousins involved, or maybe she's representing some cousins?
Definitely cousins, but I think she's the main representer.
Okay.
And then it just, kind of trickles down from there.
Okay. So there's two. So first off, just recognize I was once there. And anyone who's listening, as you begin to change and become a better person, it happens with so many people. You may need to cut the relationship off with your mother. Some people, they come to me and they say like, well, when do you know if it's necessary to have the relationship with your mother or not? If she's abusive and she's really hurting you and it's not healthy and you're not growing from it, you need to have space. And with these other relationships, you need to look at yourself in the mirror through this person and see that side of your anything that's left that needs healing out of you, use that person as a mirror of a reflection of your own, anything that's left in you. And then once you know it's all healed within this woman, like we'll use her today as an example, but she represents a lot of other people in your family and from your other friend line. Because your friends will begin to change as you're beginning to change more and more, right?
Yeah.
Are you feeling that?
Yeah. I kind of seen like a shift of girls that, like, you know, I was like social with, but like kind of like a shift more of just us becoming closer, just like we're, you know, just like same interest or same, like, you know, classes, yoga, whatever it might be. Like it's kind of like a different community change at this point.
Yeah.
And, you know, I started seeing that, and I just feel like more and more of these like conversations and like when I, you know, hanging out, like I just see more and more of this, like, I don't even know. I'm like, don't even know how to really explain it. It's just like obviously I'm picking up on like the energy and the aura, and it's just like, I don't like, obviously I'm like, I just don't really, it's not vibing anymore.
Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a few things. Okay. We're going to cut cords today. So anyone who's listening, you have all these cords attached to these different people you're working with. And sometimes it'll be like 50 and sometimes it'll be 1, and they'll be in different locations. So it's not like, oh, it's going to be heart to heart. And you have to, when you become a little bit more sensitive to this type of energy, you can close your eyes and find where the cord is attached to you. And then the cord will often be a different type of material. So it may be a metal cord. It may be just a soft cord, but you can pull it out and then burn it or just separate it off of you. And it changes the connection between you and this person. So I want you to, what we're going to do, Katerina, I want you to pretend like you're grabbing my hands.
Okay.
Bilaterally.
Okay.
And I want you to just see your body. You're going to still be in this, room here, but we're going to rise up through the sky, through the clouds, through, so it's getting darker and darker and darker and darker and darker. And as we go up from the density, because you can't really think in this type of density sometimes. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to rise real high, high, high with me until we get into this black womb feeling.
Okay.
And it's going to feel softer and softer and softer. And within this black womb, you may see the angels or faces that come out or a softness. And if you don't know how to do this, if anyone's listening, you can do this at home too. You look up and in with your eyes focused up and in your forehead. And then you can put the attention on the middle of your brain. And in the middle of the brain is the pineal gland. And as you start to awaken the pineal gland, you can actually see it. It will be like some people see it as like a green meteor, or it will be like a diamond shaped meteor. And you peer into it, and there'll be certain holes of light that's coming out, like as a meteor would hit the earth. And you can watch yourself almost walk out the back of your brain and go through a portal up into these higher worlds. And the more and more people start to awaken on the planet, the more this is going to happen. So this is how I explain it when it first happened to me. And then your imagination is a pure connection to God. So when you're doing your meditations, this is what you can imagine you're doing. So first off, up and in to the pineal gland and then out. Try it, and it will start to, and with the Kundalini particularly, you'll start to see more visions. Trust the visions because they're direct connection from God. There's really no difference.
Okay.
So we're in this dark womb.
Okay.
And I almost want you to look down at Earth, or you can have it projected right where we are, of the relationship between you and this girl. And I want you to tap your forehead 3 times and tell me what this relationship represented in your life.
I think it represented a sense of my neediness, and a sense of a sense of belonging, and kind of my version of friendship, and kind of having that sisterhood, and just kind of doing the same, like acceptance, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And I kind of used to always alter my like emotions or anything to always please